All right. Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining us on our Autumn Cruise stream of our Dragon Heist, our Waterdeep Dragon Heist mega stream. And I am your host, MadSciDM, Dan Gaston, running this fine Autumn crew. So why don't we go around and say hello to everybody in the stream, starting with random this time. Let's go with Ryan.
Oh, hello. Ryan. Kim here from Red Hand Roleplay, and just happy to be supporting this fine team of miscreants as our livable doc, our forgery cleric.
Excellent. Thank you very much. All right. And Jeff, how about you?
I'm Jeff, regular cast member of various variant roles things. I'm back after being caught in a snowstorm last week. Playing Thaddeus Brosfeather, the son of the noble house.
Excellent. Thank you very much. All right. And Matt.
Hey, I'm Matt. You can find me on Twitter at learningkim. I play Styx, and Styx is a fighter that's just there to clean up messes.
That does indeed sound like his role. And Cindy.
Well, I am Emmeline Brosfeather. I'm a noble who's there to make messes. No, hopefully not. I am Thaddeus's little sister, 2 years his junior, but the better Brosfeather.
I'm sorry.
And a monk. I'm a monk, yes.
Excellent. And last, but certainly not least, Nox.
Hi, I'm Nox. And I am playing Dahlia, the Eladrin Bard.
Excellent. Thank you very much. All right, so just to remind everyone where we left off, our band of adventurers had gone to investigate a warehouse that is owned and operated by the Zentarum, where they came across remnants of a battle between the Zentarum and the Xanathar's Guild, and they found the wrong red-headed boy, finding Lord Renear Neverember as opposed to his Floon Blagmaar, which I stumble over every time as the most Realmsian of Realms names. And had an encounter that caused them a little bit of trouble with some Kenku from the Xanathar's Guild, but learned that most likely Floon was taken by the Xanathar's Guild, being mistaken for Lord Neverember, and taken somewhere down into the sewers to a Xanathar's hideout. So, we left after your encounter with the city guard, and you cleared that up, and we come to you on the streets in the alley of Candle Lane, outside of the warehouse, and with your companion Twitch, who was a tiefling warlock sent to help Styx, and turned out to be somewhat useful. So, as our camera sort of pans in and circles around everyone's weary, somewhat blood-spattered faces, you can sort of almost smell the faint smell of smoke, which starts kind of billowing around Twitch, sort of unexpectedly. And then as the smoke kind of thickens, her body almost seems to like crack and fall off, as if someone had taken like a Russian nesting doll and cracked the outside of it. And as it falls apart, each piece dissipating into smoke, Thaddeus is standing there.
What the? All right.
Okay, what did you do?
What the hell?
I've been here all along.
Huh? What?
I watched.
Don't believe that.
I watched you and your other people go in and find the son of the stuffed shirt. That was interesting.
Well, it was great of you to, help.
You had it under control. And the couple of devil children and the big bruisers that were here. Where'd they go?
Beats me.
I walk up and poke him.
Ow!
Poke him harder. Get him, Dahlia.
Dahlia, dear, I assure you, I'm very real.
Okay. Just step away.
Well,
I think you should test it again.
Oh, Lord. I don't understand this.
well, whatever you were paying Twitch, I think you should double it. She made your life a little bit easier.
No joke.
Made all our lives a little easier. So anytime you want to step away, you know who to call.
I'm not sure what you're saying there.
Brother, do you have a disguise kit? Was Twitch you?
Oh, you know I'm not that good of an actor.
Well, that's what I thought. I was just, wondering. I've been away for a while. You could have had some help.
I have picked up a few new skills. It appears you have too. That was very impressive.
Thanks for the help. Again.
For, fighting a bunch of birds.
Do we need to have do this right here, right now in the street? Maybe we can.
Oh, I don't see why not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. Yeah.
No, we just had to get that out of our system. We can definitely grill him at a better time.
later date.
Later date, better location.
Just maybe someplace that has tables and chairs and the safety of being inside and away from whatever all this is.
And as you finish saying that, Lord Neverember sort of finishes buckling on the sword belt that he had scooped up and sort of clears his throat and he says, well, I do believe that you are right. But, and he kind of looks at Thaddeus, the Frostfeather's son, I presume?
Indeed.
Or brother, as the case may be. Well, interesting to say, not the strangest thing I've ever seen in Waterdeep, although quite the trick, I must say. But yes, perhaps it's better to get out of the streets, so to speak. I happen to know just the place.
Oh, please, does it have alcohol?
Plenty of alcohol and a running tab on me.
Oh,
Let's go.
I need a rest.
Happily follow you then.
So he leads you through the dock ward to another sort of establishment, less run down than the Skewered Dragon, but still not a posh establishment at all. He leads you in through a sort of discreet side door and ushers you to sort of a corner booth at the back, which had some occupants, but he basically walks over, sort of plants his hands on his hips, taps his toe a few times, and they clear out. And pretty quickly, a waitress comes, asks you what you want, and starts serving you. And Lord Neverember says, we'll be left alone here, I assure you.
Interesting company you keep, Renear.
Well, like you said about the stuffed shirts, I don't like to spend much time in the Sea Ward and the Castle Ward. A little too much attention. I'd rather rough it up with more common folk.
I fully understand that. I think we might understand each other more than I thought.
Too much negative attention that goes along with the family name.
In your case, that's very true.
Indeed. Now, I am eager to see Floon rescued, and I think that time is perhaps of the essence. That said, you lot look like you're in no shape to dive into the sewers of Waterdeep at the moment.
Well, I hope
I felt better.
Yeah. We've probably seen better days. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into.
Indeed, and I fear that this is a little bit of my problem, and you did do me a great service by rescuing me. So I will do what I can to aid you, and you can count me as a friend in the city.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
If I may ask, who is this Floon? He seems to be a person of more importance than it would appear.
No, merely a friend, both a mutual friend of myself and Volo. Longtime drinking companion, and I have few enough of those that I can count on, that I can trust. Floon is one. I suspect Volo feels much the same. So it's rather just that I believe he was taken by people who thought he was me. As you will tell when you meet him, you look shockingly alike, especially if one only has a description of a handsome young man with curly red hair.
Just roll my eyes.
I kind of look at Styx as Rainier's talking about drinking companions that he trusts. And I'm like, understood.
Now, I have had quite the ordeal myself, so I will leave it to it. When you wish to gather some rest, just let one of the staff know. They will show you to some rooms. On me, you can clean yourself up, discuss as you wish. I am going to, when he sort of runs his hand through sort of, a beard that's like a little sticky with weird fermented fish juice from where he was hiding. I'm going to get myself a little cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe going into sewers. I would love some soap, my dear.
Let me choose just the right one for, such an esteemed person as yourself. How would you like Marigold Madness?
Sounds positively delightful.
I like that Cindy has an actual list.
That's awesome.
It's short. I have to keep adding stuff. Check that one off.
Excellent, yeah. So he takes it and sort of disappears upstairs.
Well, finish this pint and call it a night, or
Let's call it.
We can discuss over breakfast in the morning what we want to do, or do we need to head back home and check in?
I would much rather be sleeping in my own bed right now.
I don't really care.
We've established there's a lot of things you don't care about, Styx, and I'm just like glaring at you.
It's truly true.
Oh, by the way, the establishment that you are in at the moment is known as the Pumpkin's Spice.
Oh my god, are you for real?
Yes.
Only open during the fall season.
Entirely by white people.
Yeah, it's a seasonal pop-up.
I can barely stand the thought of spending a night in such environs.
I think what my dear brother means is we would prefer to touch base at home.
Okay, well, we just want to meet here in the morning and start fresh.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, at that, I guess we all kind of go our separate ways then. And since Doc's place is near the summer's night where Dahlia is staying, we just kind of want to do that. Everyone at their ways.
Yeah, Dahlia is not going to walk back with Doc. She's going to pat you on the head, which is not something she ever does because, she respects you. But she's going to condescendingly pat you on the head without looking at you, say, I can find my own way back, Doc, and I suspect you can too.
Another round. Give her a head start. Basically, time in between.
All right. And so everyone else sort of ends up heading back to their abodes. Is there anything in particular that you do, or that you're thinking as you go back?
So what happened to you?
What do you mean? What happened to me?
Where did you
I
go?
was right there watching you.
That's not an explanation. You disappeared in a blizzard.
That was a bit odd, yes.
Did
but
you do that? Did someone else do that to you?
No, Boo, I don't know what happened. But I was there. I was watching you. I was unable to help.
You tried.
I couldn't really see too well. It was like it was very foggy.
So there's a spellcaster that we don't know of.
And there were many others there. There were 5 others there fighting the bird people as well.
Besides us.
There were 2 of the devil children, the one red one, and one, I can't tell what color she was, lighter. And a couple of bruisers. One of those giant kin.
Giant.
The more normal sized ones, yes. But they were foggy though. It was very odd.
Sounds like it. Well, glad you're okay.
And Rainier himself was there twice for a little bit. I don't know.
Okay, just don't do it again, okay?
I'm will not intend to. Did you see the floating eyeball?
Well, there was a creature that ate a rat.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what that was?
No.
That was very odd.
Yes, it was. So let's go home.
All right. And so everyone else sort of returns on their own to their establishments, settles in, gets some rest. Is there anything in particular you do as you rest and prepare in the morning?
I'm just gonna get something to eat. Check in with a couple of the guys from my cleaning crew to make sure I didn't miss anything last night, and in all this, and kind of explain what's going on.
Okay. It was a pretty happening night. As it's been the last couple of weeks, there's been more clashes between the Zentarum and the Xanathar's Guild, some of which get, quickly gathered up by the City Watch, but some out of the way, and your people often get called in to sort of clean up the scene and leave no mess. So it's been a busy night, but no more unusual than it's been for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, that seems about normal. I'm hoping this, in a way, I'm kind of hoping it settles down, but in a way, I'm kind of glad for the extra money. So,
yeah. Dahlia?
Does this fucking cat? She's being especially pain in the ass right now. So I've got a key to the Summer's Night, and so it doesn't matter if it's actually open for business or not.
Right.
But has the guy that owns it come back from his vacay yet?
Yes. I think that he probably has. He seems to know when you return to the city.
Yeah, so I think if anything, they just exchange normal pleasantries, but Dolly is too pissed and upset to do too much talking.
Right. And he knows Dahlia really well, so he would I think, suss that out and give Dahlia her space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think I do anything else. I'll just return back to our agreed upon place the following day.
Okay. Doc?
Well, after taking a few arrows come zinging by, it's been a while, but he's actually going to go ahead and grab his chainmail and shield and warhammer that the family hasn't used for quite some time, but taking the captain's words to heart about keeping the blood off the streets, and we're going into a sewer. He's actually going to grab all that, as well as probably prepare some spells that might help illuminate the situation down there. So
Okay, perfect. Is there anything special about sort of your family heirlooms, like your armor, your shield, your warhammer?
well, it's almost standard issue, but it's pristine. It's something that it's a point of pride that we actually haven't had to use it per se, especially the warhammer, because the bone forged actually were the ones trying to mend bones rather than break them. So it's an odd sense to actually be having that, but that's why he's also preparing Spare the Dying, because he's trying to keep true to that apothecaric oath of do no harm, and Dahlia kind of made it abundantly clear that he should abide by that. So
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. And the siblings Brosfeather, when you guys return in the morning, is there anything in particular you guys do to prepare?
I have the very squeaky and tight-fitting set of fresh leather armor.
So it's squeaky, like when you're walking, it's literally doing that, like, like it's brand new, it's never been worn, it's not broken in yet. Perfect.
Disadvantage on stealth checks.
Digger, you might want to get some wax for that, man. 'Cause that's making some noise, man.
Oh, that's a thought.
Where'd you get those?
Some of us don't rely on armor.
Oh, that's just outright foolish, Boo.
I thought you said I did well in that fight.
I was being generous.
Well, we'll just have to see in the next fight.
The others seem much more capable.
Would you like to try me?
No, that's okay.
I see.
We've been down that road.
Didn't end well for you, did it?
Hush, Boo.
Whatever you say, Pop.
I'm also, impractical as it is for the sewer, I also grabbed the longbow that we've practiced with.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good.
I think I have all the same things I had the day before.
Okay.
Boomerang, darts, restocked kit, soap. That's about it.
Perfect. All right, and Dahlia, do you like kit yourself out any particular way, preparing for going into the sewers?
No, I don't like. Not really. I just have my one dagger, like the other one at the murder scene, the mass murder scene. But yeah, I don't prepare in any kind of special way for this sewer jaunt.
Okay, so yeah, still your fairly simple clothing and the satchel and yeah. Okay, perfect. And I'm guessing Styx is probably similarly attired to he was in the previous night.
Oh yeah, pretty much the exact same way. It's just leather armor. The only thing different is as we go down to the sewer, I'm going to probably pull up a bandana over my face, kind of cut down the smell just a tad bit.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good.
Dahlia, there will be some changes.
Okay.
For Dahlia. So if it's the next day and we are all now reconvening, would anyone have gotten there like before Dahlia, do you guys think?
I'm trying to decide.
I'm not real sure if I would have gotten there, probably about the same time, a little after, more than one.
And Dahlia doesn't really have the same need for, she only meditates for 4 hours, right? So of anyone, I'd say Dahlia is probably the most likely to get there early if that's kind of her routine.
So I think that when you guys come in and start piling in, you don't see Dahlia. You do see an elf of the same height, super tall, similar clothes, tucked into this like leather girdle kind of thing, pants and high boots, the same long wavy hair. But whereas when you first met Dahlia and Doc and Styx, from just your time knowing Dahlia, she's always had like tan skin, light red hair, but this person has deep ruddy red skin. Their hair is like a deep dark red color, and the most distinct change is that this person is no longer female, as far as you can tell. Instead, who is sitting there is as far as you can tell, a male Eladrin.
All right, and remind me, has Doc met this the version of Dahlia before? I believe he has, correct?
Mm-hmm. Doc's the only one in the group that would know. Would
recognize. Okay.
Once or twice, and walking in and seeing this, I'm like, oh, she's pissed. And so, like, kind of acknowledging, but not like saying anything, especially trying to stir the pot or anything. And I might not be the first one there, but as people trickle in, I'm just, Dahlia's pissed.
And I have
leave it at that.
And I have my one dagger, and I'm just like spinning it in my hands.
Okay,
right.
So if we go in, I don't think we would recognize Dahlia, right? I mean, it doesn't look anything like you.
No.
So
looks like Dahlia's brother.
Okay, so maybe that's what we asked Doc, right?
Hey, Doc, who's your friend?
Another elf. Is he related to Dahlia?
Funny you should ask. This is Dahlia. I did not do a good job about keeping her calm last night, and here we are. So
wait, back up. Dahlia was pretty last night.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I was pretty pissed. So
okay.
Is this all like an earshot? Are you like like have you approached Dahlia? Like
I feel like maybe just sitting at the same table as you, but not like beside you, and so not making eye contact and just kind of like waiting for the others and just drinking.
Yeah, when more you guys join and start asking questions, I get up and I walk to the table and I slam my hands down on it and I jam the dagger into the surface of the table. We're gonna go find this fucking guy or what?
Okay, I like this guy.
So who are you?
I just sigh.
This is Dahlia.
It's me. It's Dahlia. Can't you tell? And I gesture at my face.
I know I've been gone for a while, but I mean, I know the difference between.
Let's just roll with it.
It's best not to.
If there's a problem, we can talk about this outside.
No problem. Let's.
No, I'm
all
good.
right. Let's find a manhole and get down to the sewers for our own safety.
Exactly.
And Reynard at this point has probably come down the stairs as well, and like overheard probably at least the last little bit of exchange. And again, he's sort of just buckling on the sword belt and looks over and nods and just says, blessed one, excellent. Like he totally sort of knows, the general gist of things with elves.
I look really taken aback by that because I'm not expecting that recognition, and I'm kind of stunned into silence.
He sort of looks at the brass feathers and says, sometimes the best tutors teach you a lot, but sometimes you have to get out in the world and learn a few things for yourself.
I did. I had an excellent gnome master at the monastery. His name was Master Lemongrass. I kind of miss him.
So,
Anyway.
sewers?
Shall we proceed to the sewers?
Can't wait.
Renear, do you happen to have any idea of which way to go, or are you actually coming with us?
If you will have me, I will totally have you or join you.
It'd be an honor.
The more the merrier.
I did take the liberty of spreading around a little coin last night to get some information, and I believe that I know the location of the manhole cover closest to the warehouse, which is likely how they entered the sewers.
Excellent. Good work. Thank you for that.
Well, let's go get these assholes so I can be done with this.
No, he said manholes.
I just glare at you and shake my head.
I like this one. All right, let's go then, and perhaps I'll I'll lead the way, I suppose.
Good.
And so he sort of starts leading you through basically a maze of back alleys. You pass by Candle Lane and sort of then enter through until you come to a particular manhole cover, sort of inset, out of the way. It's in an alley. It's not a high traffic area. And, levers the cover off and gestures and says, well, after you.
I hop down. Not checking or anything.
Well, this will be an experience. Go down.
All right, Emmeline gets out a bar of soap and just holds it in front of her nose, and then she drops down.
All right, and I imagine Styx will follow. And then, Renear will sort of pull the manhole cover closed back over top, which casts the sewer into pitch blackness. And you can just smell putrid scent. You're muted there.
Thank
Doc?
you, sorry. Doc will go ahead and cast light on... we'll go ahead and cast light on his Warhammer. So allow the humans and non-dim or dark vision individuals to see.
Perfect.
So I'll have a torch also. So
okay, good. So with that illumination, sort of illuminates this arched tunnel, goes in either direction. There's a stream, you're sort of ankle deep in water of this putrid sewer stream that's flowing down through the tunnel, with the remnants of, last night's waste bins and things being emptied. Renear sort of wrinkles his nose a little bit. I've smelled worse. And in sort of the direction to what you guess is kind of roughly north of you, at the edge of your light, you can see something almost like painted on the wall of this, of the sewer.
Stay here, and I'm gonna move forward out of the range of the light to see what it says, since I had dark vision.
Okay. And so as you kind of steal your way down through the water, little bits of things floating by, you can see it's yellow chalk sort of painted into almost like a glyph, which is a circle with 10 spokes radiating out from it. It looks a lot like the tattoo that the Xanathar's Guild members had.
I was about to ask if I'd recognize that. So,
Yeah, I walk back and I mention what the glyph looks like. Because I don't remember if I saw that tattoo. I think I was too busy having a temper tantrum.
Oh, that's possible. Doc definitely saw it,
Yeah,
so would be able to.
Yeah, there was 1 in the body count. There was 5. Was it Xantarum, and then 5 no names, and then 1 Xanathar.
Wouldn't actually we be semi know what that would look like anyway?
Yep, probably. Yep.
On the fringes of I don't think the nobles would know it, but we would.
Yeah, that's right.
Sounds like we need to head that direction.
So, what exactly are we getting ourselves into here? Do we need to worry about dying down here?
There's always a chance of dying, no matter where we're at.
Well, not without a fucking fight.
Dying from smell.
I'm not going to go quietly. So.
Okay.
All right.
We'll be-
Renear?
He sort of nods. Seems like the way.
Let's head on, y'all.
All right. So you start following the tunnel through the sewers, and, you know, it's twisting and turning, but what you notice is every time you come to an intersection where you have a choice about the direction you can go, you see clearly marked in one of the tunnels leading out or away from an intersection the same chalk symbol.
Okay.
I'm keeping an eye out too as we're moving along these passages to make sure we're not being followed or we're not going to fall into a hole or trigger a trap or some crap like that.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and give me a wisdom perception check?
Hmm.
$22.
Excellent. All right. So as you're making your way through the tunnels, Dahlia sort of staying out ahead of the torchlight, sort of, you know, keeping her awareness around in her surroundings with her dark vision. You continue following these twists and turns of the tunnels for about an hour, and then up ahead you can see where the sewer tunnel is running. It kind of widens out all a little bit, and there's like a little bit of a widening out and a little bit of a raised platform. And Dahlia, you can see floating in that space a pretty familiar looking creature. It's about the size of a grapefruit, has some eye stalks coming off of it. It's sort of slowly looking up and down the tunnels. Although where its central eye is, it has a dagger jammed into it. It's like weeping, sort of bloody pus kind of out of it. The eye is like scrunched up in pain, obviously, around it. But its eye stalks are still swiveling around and keeping watch.
I put my hand out. We've got surveillance, and I think someone else has been through here before us.
Why, Dahlia, it looks like he has your dagger.
I just stare at you blankly, and I'm like, was that supposed to be a joke?
I was assuming we should get it back from him.
How do you propose to do that?
He's no doubt injured by it.
This is a terrible idea. You should just stop talking.
Be careful what tone you take.
I just cock an eyebrow at you and cross my arms and like widen my stance a little bit. Is that a threat?
So Emmeline kind of, takes one step in between it, but not all the way. She don't want to fully commit here. I just think a dagger should be replaceable.
Yeah.
Or are you offering to get it back for her?
I don't need Thaddeus's help of all people.
What do you mean, of all people?
I mean, of Thaddeus. I'm clearly talking about him. I don't need Thaddeus's help.
Okay, do as you will.
All right, let's keep going. What do you want to do about this thing?
Well, we don't really know what it can do we?
Just eat rats at this point. That's all we know.
And didn't it blast one of them with some type of ray before it ate it?
Well, we know it's a beholderkin. I would presume that we would know what beholders are, because that's what the Xanathar is.
Yeah, and with the check you made, Dahlia sort of drawing on your lore as a bard and that sort of thing, you know, you don't necessarily know a lot about beholders, but you know they exist. And they're scary.
Is it following us, spying on us? Should we get rid of it?
It seems like it's keeping watch.
That's my biggest concern with all the eyes.
Are we going to move past this point?
It seems like it.
I don't like the idea of
Being watched?
something watching from behind.
I think that whoever was through here before us had similar concerns. And I just kind of gestured in the center of my forehead to indicate the dagger stabbed into its eye.
Well, it didn't seem to bother us at the warehouse. Just kind of taking it all in. Do we just want to try to make our way past? And
Dan, I'm going to look around and see if I see any remains of other people.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Let's see. Perception, that's 13.
Okay. You're sort of looking around what you can see. Although your light, hasn't reached that far down the tunnel. And you don't see anything nearby.
Well, it appears others are not here. Even if they faced it, they managed to get by. Shall we see what this thing can do?
Let's go. I think we're wasting a lot of time here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. We know which way to head. Do we see the spokes on one of these paths?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just had started to take a turn when Dahlia, saw this creature down the tunnel and probably stopped you, right? So you didn't, get your light out directly into the tunnel. And then she can see it.
Okay.
Or he can see it, sorry.
So I think Emmeline would just have her boomerang ready in case it follows them.
Yeah, Thaddeus is going to stay back as near to the edge of the light as he can and still see, and just kind of try to disappear back there and keep an eye on the party and this thing.
So I can go ahead and dismiss the light that's on my Warhammer and go ahead and put it on. Thaddeus, do you have anything just small? I don't know if your bow would be a good thing, but just because if you can cover it, you can still have some partial lighting, but not.
I'll take out one of my darts, one of my nails. Okay.
Well then, Let me see that dart real fast, and I'll just touch it and it starts glowing, and my hammer diminishes, and that way, I'm not putting off a lot of light, and that can be covered with your fancy.
Yeah, I have my cape, so in my clothes, so I'll kind of cover it that way.
Okay.
All right, and of course, so within the tunnel, so if you kind of come out with your light, anything's going to see it. So this creature will see it from down the tunnel, and anyone without dark vision or a bright light source is not going to be able to see the creature. It's going to be in darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Do dwarves have dark vision?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so at least Doc and I can see.
Right.
The light.
I don't. So also, Dan, I'm going to switch from my sticks, and I'm going to moved to my light crossbow.
Okay.
Thank you, Doc. I think this light will be better for us who are blind.
Anything to help.
Not cause much attention to us.
Mm-hmm. So, as quietly as we can, trudge through this and round the bend.
Okay, so are you like hiding the light and the people with dark visions like leading you, or
That
how
is
are
something
you
we could
approaching?
do.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've got 2 people with dark vision, so somebody could be in the front, someone in the back. Hold hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Renear and Emmeline shoulders, like just hand on shoulders type thing, and sticks. Or is
Yeah.
Dahlia willing to help lead anybody at this point?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, and if you're trying to make a stealthy approach, I will have you give me stealth checks.
I will say, I think whoever's holding my hand, it feels like super hot. Like not in like just a warm, way, but like fire hot.
And those of you who can't see will have disadvantage because you're trying to like place your feet quietly, but you can't see anything and you're walking through water.
I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
16.
Not bad for chainmail, right?
Yeah.
You got
Very
16 with disadvantage? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I got 10.
With disadvantage.
Okay.
I got a 5.
Oh, she is pissed. Dahlia is pissed.
Stomp.
Exactly, that's what it is.
Yeah. Definitely. And you're making your way up the tunnel and sort of just jam your toe against something underneath the water, your boot, which sends it rattling.
It's not that. It's like you don't even hear anything. Can't even tell I've actually like hit something with my shoe. But what gives it away is the fuck shit. God damn, motherfucker.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
echoes, so it's
Yeah.
like
I turned around going,
Ah!
And at that, Dahlia, you could see the creature like swivel around towards you, and one of the eyes kind of like light up, as a beam starts to fire. And I need you all to roll initiative.
Oh, shit. It's attacking us. Why did
woohoo!
Why did I cast guidance on anybody?
16.
All right. 16 from Styx. Dahlia.
15.
All right. Emmeline.
yeah, 26. And so far I haven't hit anything with the boomerang yet, so we'll see.
That alert feat always coming in handy. All right. Doc.
8.
Excellent. All right. And Thaddeus.
13.
All right, so Emmeline, you're the first to go. All you can see is like one of these, because it's pitch black, and then you can just see like a pinpoint of light kind of light up at the end of the tunnel, a sort of icy blue color. And you can hear Dahlia swearing like a sailor.
And echoing. So what's the distance?
It's probably about, 40 feet down the tunnel.
Okay. So I'll see if I can hit the light with the boomerang.
All right.
Ooh, better than before. All right, 19 to hit.
All right, so normally you would have disadvantage, but because for flavor I've made a pinpoint of light there, you do have a target to throw at, so that does hit it.
All right. So where's my phone? Yo, that is a whopping 2 piercing.
Woo! First blood.
Piercing, not bludgeoning.
Wait, piercing?
Bludgeoning, yeah, I think it's bludgeoning with your with the boomerang.
Character sheet.
Yeah.
Nina,
With
she's
the
sharp with
boomerang,
the
splinter.
So
All right, I think
sorry. I was just gonna say, so the boomerang like whoop, 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 and hits it square in the face with like a, almost like it hit a melon or something, and then falls to the ground. And there's a bit of a like squeaking sound from the creature.
Squeaking? That mouse you ate earlier.
I can't cover 40 feet in this turn, but I can run towards it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, so you move up the tunnel. It is now the creature's turn, and so its beam that it had sort of started charging fires off at Dahlia. And I need you to make a dex save, Dahlia.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
15.
All right. So you manage to sort of swing out of the way as this icy sort of blast crackles by you down the tunnel. And the creature's just like...
And I'm like, back.
And it sort of like floats up kind of higher in the tunnel. So it's like up near the arched roof. So it's probably like 10 feet above you. They're fairly high tunnels. And just hangs there. Its eyes like kind of all now swivel in, aiming down the tunnel at you guys. And it is Styx's turn.
All right. Do I have disadvantage or just
You
normal?
do, yeah. There is no light.
That's well, that's wonderful. A 1.
All right, so you fire off a shot and it just ricochets totally wide. And was that a natural one or?
Yes, that was a natural 1.
Okay, so the bolt kind of ricochets down the tunnel and like bounces a couple of times, and then appears to maybe go through the part of the wall, and you hear a yelp from where the bolt ended up. And it is then Dahlia's turn.
I'm yelling that we got something else going on.
Okay.
Yeah, you just heard sort of a startled yelp of some kind when your bolt, kind of ricocheted down the tunnel.
I shoot it, Sticks.
Dahlia.
So this thing is more than 30 feet away, and now it's floating.
Yeah, it's kind of floating up in the air a bit.
Holding onto my one little measly dagger, I'm just gonna start taking off for it.
Okay. All right. So
splish splash, splish splash.
Okay. So if all you're doing is moving, you can easily, get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of be underneath it, basically. One of its eye stalks swivels down at you. A little bit of saliva drips out of its mouth onto your head. It's...
I'm growling back too. Bring it, you little shit.
Thaddeus.
Okay, I'm going to try out my longbow. Pull a arrow on my leg. And this is disadvantage, right?
Disadvantage, yeah.
Well, do you still have the glowing dagger, or is that... it still has light on it. Does that help?
It would just light up around me.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Well, even at disadvantage, that's a dirty 20.
All right.
Wow.
So,
nice.
So you're... That definitely hits.
Okay. So that's 7 points damage.
Okay. So the arrow kind of pierces in right next to where the dagger's jammed into its central eye, and sort of continues through and sort of pins it into the roof momentarily, like in a joint between the rocks. And then it falls down and lands in the water with a wet splat.
Next to Dahlia?
Yeah, right next to Dahlia. Yes, it lands. It doesn't move. You can see the arrow shaft kind of barely sticking out of the water, just kind of bobbing there a little bit in the current.
There's your dagger, Dahlia.
Just ignore Thaddeus and move it around with my dagger, and then I just yank out the one in the eye.
Yeah. It pulls out. It's an unfamiliar looking dagger. You've never seen it before.
I kick it. I kick the thing down the tunnel like a ball.
It sort of arcs out of the water with like a splash as you kick through it, and like with a pretty wet thunk, hits against sort of the stone ledge where it sort of opens back up. And you can then hear a voice coming and just say, "Ow. Ooh, out there."
Styx, is that one of your friends?
I've not one of anybody I know, I don't think. Who are you?
I'm notching another arrow.
I'll go ahead and cast light on my shield.
I'm going to find my boomerang.
Okay. So as you're doing that, and then the light sort of spreads out, a greenish, kind of wizened looking head with big pointy ears and yellowy fangs kind of peeks out into the hall and then goes, oh no, intruders, and he's like kind of pulling a little bit of a crossbow out and sort of then looking around and goes, what you want?
What are you? Who are you? And what are you doing here?
He sort of trudges up through the water and just looks at you. It's quite clearly a goblin, and stands there, sort of his arms crossed, kicks at the water a little bit. You kill Five Eye.
We weren't trying to kill Five Eye.
Like Five Eye.
We don't like him either.
Five Eye hurt me.
Oh no.
Are you okay?
Maybe. Hurt feelings.
Oh.
Who's got that? Where's that dagger that was in the thing?
Dahlia has it.
I'm just like flipping them in the air and catching them.
I point at it. Is that yours?
You all look tough.
Maybe.
Oh, we're here to find a friend, and we didn't want to come ill-prepared.
What friend look like?
Like him. I point to Renear.
And he sort of does a double take. Oh, that friend in trouble.
What do you mean in trouble?
People drag him, take him to boss. Boss mad. Try find out things he know. I don't know what they ask, but
Well, if
there
you
was
want to be,
there was screaming.
would you like to be our friend and help us find our other friend?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh Lord.
While Doc is having this conversation, I'm like, we're making friends with goblins now.
Maybe I should cast guidance on myself. 12.
No, like you.
Uh,
You pay, and I don't yell.
Yeah, you don't have to like us. You can like our coin.
I do like coin.
I'll give him
Wait,
5 silver.
Sort of
So,
holds his hand out. The silver hits. Yeah, sorry, Emmeline, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So as he does that, Emily will just say, "What's your name? I've never met a goblin before. Are they all as handsome as you are?"
And make a persuasion check.
See if I can roll higher than Doc here.
Yeah, why didn't she talk more?
Well, never mind. Yeah, I don't think the 7's going to do it.
And he sort of like pockets the coin and just says, "Me name Broken Fang." And he sort of smiles widely, and you can see he's got a couple of fangs like broken off.
After he says this and all those persuasion checks are going on, I will say to him in kind of broken goblin, "What are you doing down here? Are you by yourself?"
And then he looks around at you and speaks back to you in Goblin. Wow, you're not very well versed in our tongue, are you?
I have only learned in reading.
Yeah,
So,
well,
you're all stuck in your throat or what? What are you doing?
It's okay, Boo. It's
I work here. Security, you could say.
security. Very good.
I really
Who's
don't
your-
like it when people make fun of me.
Oh, no.
No
No.
one does.
Mocking is not a kind thing.
What a sophisticated little goblin.
Who do you work for?
Oh, the Xanathar, of course. You only got so many choices when you grow up a goblin. You know,
This isn't-
you can raid, you can pillage, you can raid and pillage. Really kind of synonymous. You can be employed by the Zentarum or the Xanathar's Guild if you're a goblin in Waterdeep. I mean, your kind really don't like us. I mean, I tried to go up to the surface once. There was screaming,
Oh,
people
yes, I
fainting,
would not recommend that.
people threw
But-
food at me. Do you know how humiliating it is to have food thrown at you?
I do not know.
Hey,
I'm
Thaddeus,
just-
do you want to share with the class here?
Just a goblin trying to make my way in the world. And, like, look, I really don't like working for the Xanathar, so... But, I mean, 5 silver is not really enough to make me let you in.
Of course. How about if we keep you supplied with a little bit of gold from time to time? Can you feed us some information?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage.
Nice.
Good thing I had advantage. That is a 19.
Okay. Well, put one of those nice shiny gold coins up front in this green little palm and you got yourself a deal.
So I'll actually give him 2 gold.
Ah.
Ooh.
Appreciate doing business with you.
And he tucks it away and sort of shakes your hand.
I'll shake it kind of. And in comment, I was like, well, I believe we have reached a business agreement here.
Clearly.
Broken Fang, what do you know about our friend we are looking for?
And are you still
Can we
speaking
get-
to him in Goblin?
This is in common.
Okay.
And can you lead us to him?
Oh, you don't know about that.
Tell us where he is.
Me tell you that. Go down corridor, turn a left, right. Yes, right, no. Right, yes. Through some rooms, another right, upstairs, big room, boss, and scarier boss. That where screaming was. Me no go there.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have any other friends along the way that may not like to work with the Xanathar?
Well, other guard, too much drink.
Okay.
There, other 1, 2, 5, no, 2, 3, 5, 10. Some other people in hideout.
So it's an army of drunks.
Something.
Big, scary half orcs, human like you. Scary boss, very scary, very strange.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what he is.
Probably why he boss.
Not human.
What does he look like?
Tall, purple, tentacles.
Well, that does sound really scary.
Is this really a job we can do on our own?
We've come this far.
We can try. That's all we can do.
I always turn back. But let's go and push on a little bit further. Broken Tooth, it was a pleasure. You're a gentleman.
And he just sort of pats. He goes, "Me like coin."
Thank you.
That coin's going to keep you quiet about us being here too, right?
And he pulls one back out and sort of gnaws on it, tucks it away. Yep.
Just-
All right.
Squint my eyes at him skeptically.
Xanathar, cheapskate.
Very
All right.
interesting.
All right.
And he actually just like sort of disappears down a tunnel. He doesn't go back to his watch post.
Okay. Me no see nothing. Well, shall we?
Let's go. Let's hit this and see what we can get done.
I'm going to stay at the front of the group and just keep an eye out for things as we continue onwards.
Okay. Shield still lit up. Probably have it off to the side to illuminate some for those without dark vision. Kind of following the bouncing light.
I
And-
might just put on a torch at this point.
All right. So actually, when you get to sort of the tunnel and, where it's kind of opened out, and you can see this door basically, closing off another tunnel. And there's, again, this chalk circle painted beside it. And from the other side of it, because it doesn't really fit very well in its frame, you can see a little bit of light come out. So you think maybe the hideout itself has some light in it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you could see this arrow slit, which is actually where Styx's crossbow, hooked a hard left as it was ricocheting off the walls and kind of just, Goblin caught a stray bullet.
Got a shot. Friendly fire.
Friendly fire.
Before we get into this place, what's our strategy? Are we trying to be cautious and sneaky?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. I'm thinking we make friends, and if that doesn't work, well, we try to mitigate the damage.
Is there more than one way to get into this place? Should we, I don't know, split up and try different entrances, or somebody hang back just in case something happens?
Does this place look familiar to
I think we need all hands on deck, honestly.
I think so too.
if shit goes sideways, every man for himself, or I don't want to die down here, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't think any of us want to die down here.
Yeah,
I'm not high on that at all.
I think if shit goes south, we meet back up at the Pumpkin Spice.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Thaddeus, you had a little bit of a
this?
question.
Nobody else thinks this is familiar.
How much time have you spent in the sewers?
What she
No.
said.
I feel like I've seen this. Right. Something is familiar here.
The smell?
You having any? You know what's on the other side? Has the dreams taken you further, or you just recognize this?
I'm not sure. I thought I saw others past here.
I'm going to snap my fingers in front of Thaddeus's face.
Yes.
Get your shit together, man. We're going to be going into dangerous territory. You need to get your shit together.
I'm with
Are you
Dahlia.
saying that you've been here before?
Saying I've seen this before, Styx. I feel like I've watched others pass this way.
And how did they get in? Did they just knock?
Dan, am I remembering anything about this?
You might be. Would you care to spend one of your insight points?
Well,
Okay. So you have a couple of different flashes. You definitely remember people walking through the door and going through, and you have flashes of a creature like what was described, tall and purple, that sort of was glaring at someone. And, again, the image is kind of all staticky, almost like you were watching on a TV that's, like a scrambled channel for those of us old enough to remember that. But then that creature sort of leaving, sort of not really sticking around. And you also have this itching sensation that in the tunnel wall here somewhere, there might be something important. Like off to your right.
there's something in the wall here. I do not think we should worry ourselves about the big boss. The ugly guy will take care of himself.
Okay, and I'll go ahead and shine the shield towards what he was pointing at on the wall.
Okay.
Emily's not like when you're looking for a stud.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me a investigation check?
And you break your knuckles.
Hope not.
Since we're all
18.
standing around, can she get advantage?
Well, so she rolled an 18.
Oh, well.
And it would, depending on how you were helping her, certainly it could provide advantage. But I'll say that an 18 is enough. So as Emmeline is kind of knocking down the wall, you kind of knock on this stone that is a little bit loose, and it swivels open, revealing a little handle inset into the wall.
Now that is very clever.
So can I pull the handle?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna hide before.
Dawn,
I'm gonna have my crossbow out and ready.
Okay. So when you pull the handle, there's a kind of low bit of a grinding sound of stone on stone, not terribly loud, as a section of the wall sort of pops, free, as if something was holding it kind of latched, and just like drifts inward a little bit. Like it doesn't open all the way, but it's like you released a latch and a bit of door hidden seamlessly in the wall kind of popped inwards, and a little bit of faint light kind of comes out as if the other side is
hey,
lit.
guys, look at this. Look
Well
what I
done.
found.
Very good, Boo.
Well done.
Thank you.
What'd you know this was here?
I swear I saw it.
I shouldn't have left for years. You got weird.
Well, if you happen to have any more of those visions, definitely let us know. This is a good find for
this is awesome.
however you figured it out. So go ahead and open up the little hidden door a little bit more, and I'll go ahead and pop in first with the dark vision and shield and chainmail.
And so your shield. Oh, sorry. Go
Emily's
ahead.
right on your heels because she's just so excited that she found this.
Oh yeah.
So you basically at first just reveal almost like a short hallway that goes to another door which is closed, and there's again like a little bit of light that's seeping in through underneath that door, and that's the light that you could see. This room isn't illuminated except by your light. And the door at the other end just seems plain, like a wooden door with banded iron on it and a simple latch.
Okay.
And lights coming through that door.
Yeah, just kind of like, You know,
Yeah.
if your door's closed and the hallway light's on, yeah.
Let's be careful, guys.
Right. So, I'm gonna put my ear up to the door.
Okay.
If
Go
I
ahead. Go ahead and
see
give me a perception check.
19.
All right. So, not from immediately on the other side of this door, but from some kind of distance away, kind of passing, filtered through, presumably some closed doors and walls, you hear the faint sound of a man screaming.
Floon?
And I'll just relay that to the party as I don't hear anything except some faint screaming, so we might just be on time. We probably got to hustle. So I'll go ahead and open up the door.
Okay. So you open up the door, and it kind of comes out on a bit of a landing with stairs that go down. A short set of stairs, just 5 or 6 feet kind of thing. Down to a large stone chamber. And seeing down the stairs, you can see that in the middle of the room, which is otherwise empty, is a stone pillar carved with a small symbol. A perfect circle with 10 equidistant, spokes around it. So it's kind of like the Xanathar symbol. But a circular depression. In the middle of this circle is a small circular indentation that bears a passing resemblance to a lidless eye. So it's kind of like a recessed indentation in the middle of that circle, and it's carved in a bit of relief, and it sort of looks like an eye, but with no lid. On the other side of the room is a set of double doors, again, sort of plain wood banded with iron, that are closed. And just as you pop open this door and kind of poke your head in, you hear another scream, clearly coming from the other side of that door.
Okay. And kind of pile out to allow the others to come out. And that pillar is the only thing in the room, right?
Yeah, other than the
Okay.
doors. Yeah.
Okay. And so at this point, just kind of quietly point to that if they didn't hear the scream coming from the double doors. So just trying to maintain radio silence, as it were.
Yeah.
I'm
And
going
it's
to try
told
to cover everybody with the crossbows. We're going across, just making sure that we don't have anything pop up.
Yeah, and all these rooms have sort of faint flickering, torchlight basically on the walls.
Okay, that's going to make life easier.
Yeah, I'll kind of stay back with sticks with my longbow too. So
Is the pillar facing the door we just entered through, or the one where the screams are coming from? Like, where is it oriented in the space?
So the pillar's round, but the symbol that you could see carved on it. Now there might be more on the other side. You can't tell unless you go and inspect it. But there is a symbol carved on it that is facing you.
Okay.
How high is the pillar?
It's about like 6 feet tall, with just like a lintel kind of thing on top, like a flat shelf, a little bit.
Like a perch for a monk?
A monk could probably get up on there and perch, most definitely.
I don't know. Doc's rolling his eyes at me. Maybe.
All of a sudden, I just feel this step on my shoulder, and she's already up there.
Yeah, pardon me.
It's like a cat.
Right? It was a light touch.
Just goes all flying tiger.
What do we make of this thing?
Is it? Well, it's not supporting the ceiling or anything, so it's not a support beam or anything. I don't know.
I mean, I wasn't asking about the architectural.
Oh no, sorry. I was like, well, I was gonna say like a support pillar, but like if she's able to hop on it, then kind of defeats that question. So never mind. Continue. The ramblings of an old man.
Maybe see the guy first and then figure out what it is.
I'm gonna.
my dear sister has a point. We should get moving.
I'm gonna walk up to the pillar and I want to inspect it again, just to make sure it's not something that's gonna fuck us later. It's not trapped. It's not magical. See
Okay.
if
Is
there's
it pretty
one on the other
dusty?
side.
Okay. So go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay, it's a good thing I rolled high because I have shit for investigation. 19.
Okay, so you're poking around at it, taking a look. It seems carved. It doesn't move or anything like that. It's not you shift and the eye follows you or anything. But you do see there are some carved glyphs carved into it that does suggest that it does have an arcane nature of some kind.
This has. I point at the glyphs. I don't know what these are, but there's clearly something magical going on with this.
Is there anything interesting on the top, or is it just dusty rock?
Just dusty rock.
Okay. Hearing Dahlia say that, I'll go ahead and lay my hands on it for about a minute, just make my way for about a minute and cast Identify on it.
Okay. So when you do that, it gives off, a faint magical aura. It seems like it is some kind of basically a teleportation, very similar to a teleportation circle, except it has a key and it's sort of a different format. So as opposed to, like an inscribed circle on the ground, but otherwise it would function identically. But you need the right key inset into the device to trigger it.
Okay. And kind of relay this information to the gang about this is may how people come and go.
Emmeline gets off of it.
I'm going to back up so I can kind of keep an eye on it also.
But unless we have some way to activate this, we probably don't want to be here if someone pops in.
Right.
No.
Well, I start approaching the double doors.
Yeah, I'm with you.
There's another sort of tremoling Wilhelm scream from the other side.
I flip the daggers in my hands. Shall we?
Let's do it.
We shall.
Okay, I'm going to kick open the doors.
Excellent.
Kick open the door, I'm the monk.
I was just waiting for someone to kick open the door.
I'm stepping back.
Yeah.
All right, kicking open the door. I'm like going cartwheeling in, okay?
Yeah,
I'm
so
just going to stay back with a crossbow, so.
okay. Yeah, so
Dahlia should not be on the front lines at all.
Okay, I'm cartwheeling past you. I'm going to get killed off, and maybe Dan will let me write a new character.
so Dahlia kicks open the door, his booted foot hitting it square in the middle as the door. There's like a splintering sound almost as they, swing open wide into the room. Dahlia in the lead with Emmeline then, diving and somersaulting in around. This would be the point where the camera was in behind you and then it pans around to show your hero's entrance from the other side as everyone strides in.
Either that or the entrance.
Exactly.
Well, then it keeps rotating around, right, to then show what you can see. And so you've come in sort of on the booted open this door on the western side of a long hallway. And so you're looking across sort of the short bit of it. There's threadbare sort of curtains hanging along the east wall in a couple of places. There's in the middle of the room this muscular looking half orc with sort of dirty, dingy brown robes on is standing with his booted foot on the chest of a pale, attractive, but at this point dirty and smudged, red-haired young man. The orc's hand is sort of flickering some fire which you can see he was just like pulling away from who you presume is Floon. And then close to you, you can see two things. One is a human male, looks like he is in the garb of a member of the City Watch, whose body is currently on the floor. And I say clearly body because his head is split open. As your eyes trail up, sort of following this trail of blood that goes from the man's ruined head to a stone dais, again, fairly close to you, like on this end of the room, a nightmare figure is seated in this, who has now swiveled its head over to look at you. In black robes is a tall, unhuman-looking figure with rubbery purple skin. Long, just two long fingers are stroking what appears to be a blood-covered brain with legs that is currently perched in its lap. And where its mouth should be are 4 writhing tentacles.
God damn it.
Ah, damn.
And
So we just walked into this one.
Our interest was so cool, though.
she doesn't see it. She
Oh,
just
God.
The creature sort of stands up calmly, places the creature on the ground, swivels its head to the half-orc, doesn't appear to speak, but the half-orc just nods at it and sort of turns to face you. And then the creature is like, you know, smoothly sort of turns towards you and is now holding, sort of had pulled out from its robes, a stone sphere in its hand. And it sort of levitates up off the ground a little bit and starts drifting towards you.
I'm going to let go with a crossbow bolt.
Yeah, I'm gonna go too.
All right. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh, God almighty.
I just rolled a nat 20!
We need the morale boost.
Which is good because I'm cartwheeling towards it.
That's as good.
20,
Okay, so Emmeline, so that gives you a total of what, 25?
28. I just
28?
wasted the 20 on initiative.
No,
I
it's
need
God.
It's still good.
No, I think that's awesome. Okay, Dahlia.
a 10.
Okay. Styx.
14.
14. Doc. 2. Womp, womp, womp. All right.
Rock and roll.
I'm just going to stand my ground.
Thaddeus.
We're in Florida.
6. Thanks, Mazvan. All right, and we have... All right.
This is when we need like something to promote, you know?
So D&D Beyond.
Yeah, so D&D let's
Plus our entire campaign.
it lets you pick the color you want your character sheet to be in. Mine's purple.
Excellent. All right. So, Emmeline, you are the first to go.
Okay, I'm gonna try to like kind of somersault past, purple squid face. I don't know. I want to see if I can knock the half-orc's legs out from under him. So
Okay.
I want to kick sort of at the back of his knee if I can get there.
Okay. All right. So why don't you give me an acrobatics check, to get by the creepy purple thing, without provoking an attack of opportunity. To sort of dodge around it. Okay, perfect. So yeah, you're tumbling through, you come up, and are you going to make just a regular unarmed attack, or do you want to actually try and knock the hat fork over?
Well, if I can get low, I was thinking I'd do the unarmed strike and kick towards the back of his knees, try and knock him over backwards.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you want to actually knock him over, then that is going to be a contested athletics check. So sort of like a shove, but we'll flavor it as you kicking him. And why don't you go ahead and do that with advantage from your sort of tumble, springy, unorthodox method.
Athletics?
Nobody expects a tumbling monk.
Okay. I rolled a 15 and a 19, so I'll take the advantage there, and that is athletics, so 22.
That is good, because I rolled an 18, but you definitely still beat him. So you tumble through and you sweep the leg in good Karate Kid style and send him tumbling over backwards off of Floon, landing on his back, and he is now prone.
So
Nice.
Can I do my second unarmed strike and try and go for the eye just with an elbow?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you treat that as if it was a regular attack and follow up with your unarmed.
Okay. Oh,
So you have advantage because he's prone.
Oh, yay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll take the 21 to hit.
Oh my god!
Okay, wait. So
Beat the orc to death.
Okay, well that's only 2 bludgeoning
Okay.
to the eyeball. Which
Yeah. So the boniest part of your elbow sort of jams into his eye socket, and he bellows in pain, sort of clutching at it. Ah, damn you! So the purple nightmare monstrosity continues floating, but looks like he is trying to just float in between you and into the room that you just came from. So he probably has to float between a few of you. I would say Styx and Doc and Dahlia. So if you choose to take a reaction and attack of opportunity, you may.
He's not coming at us, right?
He's floating towards you. You don't get a good, he just has a calm demeanor. You don't really get a good read on what it might do.
From my little flash of insight earlier, I'm going to shout out to everybody, let him go.
Then
I've already reached out and slashed at him with my dagger.
I'm
but-
stepping out of the way. Just still shield between me and him.
Well,
All right.
I'd already drawn a bead on the orc anyway, so.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you right now that it totally missed. So it's just totally whiff it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you kind of slash past it, but kind of just slash through its robes as it floats by you. And so it is going to, as you kind of slash at it, it sort of just turns its head at you. I need you to make a wisdom save.
God damn it. 14.
Okay, so you can just feel this cold alien voice slip into your mind, just into the cracks between your thoughts, and sort of seize hold of your thoughts. Actually, you have advantage on this, sorry, because it is a charm effect.
Oh, right. Okay, it doesn't matter. We're all shit
Okay.
tonight, apparently.
All right. And so it just telepathically starts communicating to you, and it just says, "Why don't you prevent your little friends from following me. And it continues drifting by past you. So you're currently charmed by it and under its domination. And that is that.
All right.
Let me just double check. So each time, if you take any damage, you get to re-roll your save. And it can sort of like direct you to do things, but otherwise you kind of just follow its instructions to the best of your ability.
All right.
All right.
The fun of following the whims of an Eladrin's seasons.
And then it sort of moves in behind you and kind of drifts into that room. Styx, it is your turn.
All right, I'm going to take a shot at the half-orc with my crossbow.
Excellent. So you'll have disadvantage because it is prone.
All right, advantage or disadvantage?
Disadvantage. It's disadvantage on ranged attacks when it's prone, advantage if you're making a melee.
Well, crap, I had a 19 going there.
Oh.
Well, make that an 8 now.
And so it comes close. Your crossbow bolt sort of slams into the ground, kind of pinning a bit of its robe to the ground, but otherwise not hitting it.
Thank you for not hitting me.
It's its turn, so it pushes himself up roughly and just says, "Oh, interfering with the Xanathar? You're going to pay for that." And it casts, sort of puts his hands together, and a gout of flame, Emmeline, sort of encircles you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
13. Lucky
13. Yeah, so you dodge out of the way as this cone of fire, erupts basically in your face, but you manage to just duck out. And that is that. He aimed it, so he didn't burn Floon. So that's good. And then it is Dahlia's turn.
So while the illithid guy was all up in my brain space, I had this like pained look, this pained expression, and then after he floats by, who's closest to me?
Probably Styx.
Yep.
I'm my eyes just snap over at you, towards you, and I say, "Let him leave!" And even though you're not trying to stop him, and I rush over and I'd like just wrap my arms around you, like in an attempt to restrain you.
All right, so go ahead and make a athletics check, and Styx, you can contest that with an athletics check or acrobatics check as you choose.
Both are the same, so we'll go.
So
I got a 9.
Oh no. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because I rolled an 18 on the dice.
Wow.
So somehow, like skinny Dahlia, still fit, but not like I have a -1 strength modifier. It's just straining this hardy
You
human.
just kind of got wrapped up all around me. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Almost like you're used to having men in your arms.
All right, so yeah, Dahlia, you get your arms like wrapped around him and have him sort of grappled. Thaddeus, what are you doing?
Well, first I shout over to them, "You two, there's time for that later." Is there still a brain around somewhere?
There is.
I have my arrow knocked and my intuition is telling me to let the guy go anyway. So I'm going to shoot at the brain.
Okay.
Okay.
Like Krang and Shredders.
That's a 19 to hit.
So 19 hits.
All right.
Jeff?
4 points of damage.
Okay.
We're in the sewers and you shot at a brain. Which Ninja Turtle are you?
All right, and are you doing anything else?
I think I'm going to try to get my back up to a wall in the hallway where I can see what's going on, but just position there.
Yep, perfect. All right, it is the brain's turn, which comes like bounding towards you, like a chihuahua bounding through snow. Except it is this horrible brain covered in like blood, and like a regular human-sized brain, but it's got these like 4 oversized, paws, kind of like a puppy, right? Like the paws are too big, and it's bounding towards you. And the brain sort of pulses, and you can just feel this like almost like scream ripping through your head, Thaddeus. And I need you to make a intelligence saving throw.
Yeah, this will not go well.
Brain.
Well, that's a 14.
Okay. All right. So you can like feel it ripping through this pulse. But it doesn't appear to have any effect. You somehow manage to resist it.
That's surprising. Ow! Ah!
And then it sort of like bounds up at you again, sort of like an excited dog, and its claws at you. And that's a dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah, that will hit.
Or 8 points of slashing damage.
Yikes. Okay.
Its claw kind of just like rakes down your chest. It's like scrabbling at you, and the brain is like pulsing all weirdly. And then it sort of flops down at your feet, standing there. You can hear in your brain a little "Arr." And then it's Doc's turn.
Okay. Surveying all this. Half orcs still on the ground. And
standing. It shooted like flame at Emmeline. Yeah, and then this brain dog is like savaging Thaddeus.
Right. So seeing Emmeline over there and the 2 over there hugging it out, and then
and Floon's on the ground.
And Floon's on the ground. And then I'm gonna go ahead and charge towards Thaddeus and let me help you out there, my boy. And I'm going to come down with I'm going to try to actually position myself between the 2, if there's space.
Yeah, you can like sort of jostle in.
Okay, and I'm going to bring down the Warhammer on the brain.
Okay.
And so, let's see here. Yeah, that's an 18 to hit.
Oh, that definitely hits.
And then, let's see here. 1d8. And that is 7 points of damage.
Nice.
Okay. So, it sort of slides out of the way a little bit as your hammer comes down, and it scrapes sort of across the side. There's chunks of white and gray matter that kind of come off, and then your warhammer slams into the ground. And, it's kind of bleeding. It doesn't look too healthy. And we are back around to Emmeline.
Oh boy. So I'm in front of the orc, right? He's facing me? Or did I dodge off the side?
Yeah, he sort of dodged off to the side, but he's still like in front of you, roughly.
Okay. Yeah. So can I get behind him?
You absolutely can sort of circle around him a bit. Yep.
Okay, so I guess I'll do that. I'm gonna try and parkour off his back, see if I can knock him over front ways, since fire hands are dangerous.
Okay.
What would that be? Acrobatics or what?
Yeah, acrobatics for your little parkour maneuver off the wall and then back around into behind his head.
I'm trying to like get him with both feet in the upper backs. Hopefully he'll go over forward.
All
so
right.
That's 22 for no wait, that's athletics. Hold on. Oh no, acrobatics would be 23.
Okay. So you do a crazy like monk flip over him and go to kick, and I'll give you advantage on your attack roll for that.
Oh, okay. So what is this, unarmed strike?
Yep, just go ahead and make a regular
Nat
attack
20
roll.
plus 3. That's to be my witness.
Air horn sound. Burr, burr, burr. All right, go ahead and roll damage. Double your dice.
Wait, did he go over?
Well, you're gonna roll some damage, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay, so that's 5 plus 2, so 7.
Okay, so yeah, you kick him sort of square in the shoulder blades, and as he stumbles forward, he gets sort of like a, almost like whiplash as his head kind of slams back, and then he falls down onto the ground, sprawled out, unconscious.
Yay! Okay, wait, can I have my second unarmed strike?
You absolutely can.
I'm gonna jump on him and squeeze his neck with my thigh.
Okay.
Well,
Dahlia
so
looks over.
All right. Yeah. So you have enough there. He's like incapacitated. So it's basically at this point if you intend to kill him or leave him unconscious.
Yeah, well, we can go with she's gonna kill him, I think.
Okay. So when she squeezes, there's basically like you don't have to roll damage because you had done enough to kill him. But so there's like a popping sound as his neck snaps.
Okay, she looks slightly disgusted with what she just did, but also slightly proud, and she gets off.
Sort of dusts herself off.
And then she goes to help Floon up, I think.
Yeah, and Renear is probably at that point, because I sort of forgot him at the end of the order, but he would have ran over to start trying to tend to Floon, who is breathing but is sort of hovering on the edge. So he is unconscious and he's bleeding. He's got some burn marks. The slightest thing could potentially kill him.
So if Renear went to what are their names? Proper nouns. Jeff knows I can't do proper nouns. Anyway, so if he's got some help, I would probably run towards Thaddeus then. Okay,
so yeah, you're running sort of back across the room. Okay. The floating purple nightmare sort of in behind you, you kind of can't see unless anyone's kind of occasionally keeping an eye on it, floats over to the pillar, insets the stone into it, and then it looks like it folds in on itself and disappears. Ooh. Sort of that, there's a little bit of glowing light and sort of space and time sort of warps and folds in on itself, and the nightmare vanishes. And Dahlia, your mind clears.
Shake my head.
Styx, it's your turn. So currently,
I'm trying to get her off me now.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm not going to resist at this point.
Okay,
what
so
are you doing?
Even I'm a little confused.
So you managed to push him off of you.
All right. Is anything still up?
brain.
The brain.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna.
But it's still. So even though Dahlia wasn't basically chooses to fail, you do still because Dahlia hasn't had a turn yet to release you. You do have to use your attack, as an action to sort of untangle yourself.
Okay. All right.
You don't have to roll because Dahlia is choosing to fail.
Okay.
But it's going to use up your action.
Can I use my bonus action to go ahead and pull out my sticks and drop the crossbow?
Yeah, you can. It doesn't use your bonus action for that, but yes, you can do that as part of your interacting with an object, dropping and pulling your melee weapons out and getting ready. And you still have movement if you want to advance.
I'm gonna move up as close as I can to the.
Yeah, I mean, this poor brain now is getting surrounded by people who are whacking at it.
Awesome. Beat it with a stick.
And then it is Dahlia's turn.
Yeah, so when you're charmed, that's something where you right?
Yes, absolutely. So when your brain clears, that something dominated your mind.
Yeah. And I curse and I actually shove Styx away, at the same time that he's running away.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing the the brain on 4 legs. I run at it, and I'm going to try and stab at it with one of my daggers.
Okay.
It's a 19 to hit.
Oh, yes, that definitely hits.
And that's 3 points of damage.
Okay. So, yeah, you're jabbing your dagger in it. Blood and little bits of brain are spraying off, flecking you in the face. Thaddeus.
I do have a hand axe on me, so I'm
Okay.
going to chop the brain.
All right. Yeah, so you sort of just swing your bow aside, pull out the hand axe.
That is only an 8 to hit.
An 8 actually misses. So yeah, as the dagger of Dahlia is like jabbing at this little brain and you go to swing down, it sort of gets like jerked and skidded across the floor a little bit by the dagger, the force of the blow, and your hand axe chips in. It releases another pulse. I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
That is an 11.
Okay. Alright, so you take 10 points of psychic damage as this pulse rips through your brain. And
That's actually enough. I fall unconscious at that.
okay. Alright. And that is all that happens.
So I just kind of get it with my axe and keep going.
Yeah, so you collapse down into the ground. And everyone else can see this brain that as Thaddeus collapses, you all hear this almost like salivating sound in your brains of hunger. And the creature like climbs up on his chest and is going right up towards Thaddeus's unconscious face. Doc, it is your turn.
Hit it.
Yeah. I just want to swat this thing off because it is totally out there. So we're going to go ahead and try to save you there with a... make sure. Yeah, that's a 19 to hit.
Oh yes, that definitely hits.
Then 8 damage.
Okay, so you sort of tee up with the warhammer and impact this creature right square in the mid, part of the brain and send it flying across the room with like a spray of blood and this like mental squeal in everyone's brain. And it tumbles end over end and then impacts against the wall and does the cartoon slide, like leaving a bloody streak down, and then ends up in a pile on the wall, or on the floor, sorry.
Sweet.
So Renear is tending to Floon, who seems to be sort of woozily kind of coming around a little bit, and Reynar's helping him up. And you can hear, so not the doors you came through, but the like far end of the room where there's another closed door, you can hear yelling and feet and running and things approaching you. What are you guys going to do?
We better get out of here now.
Let's drag him. Let's go.
Real fast, looking at Reynard, can Floon walk?
Barely.
Let me carry him.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cure wounds on Thaddeus and tell him to get the fuck up. We got to go.
We got to go now.
So go ahead and roll. You roll your curing.
Yes. Okay. That's going to be 6 points.
Okay. And is there anything special to your like healing prayers?
It's very simple. It's so really, it's. I was actually thinking about this earlier. He has like a leather band that has on one side the coin of the healing god, and then the other side of his more or less, what is it? The Vergadane is the less than legal means for dwarves to get wealth, but the healing god Chandelier. And so it just gives that a good rub of the healing god and places his hands on Thaddeus.
Okay. And sort of this life and energy runs back through you, Thaddeus, as you come to awareness with, like, Doc literally in your face, just being like, get the fuck up and run.
All right, so Emmeline's trying to haul his ass up off the floor, too. Come on, we gotta go!
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Sticks, so you're, like, throwing Floon over your shoulder like
Yeah.
a sack of potatoes.
Pretty much. Let's go.
Okay.
So as Emmeline's dragging Thaddeus out the room, she points to the half-orc. Look, I did that!
All right. And so sort of as you start exiting back through the way you came, you can hear, the doors behind you, in that room swing open with a crash. You can hear people starting to chase you. So, escaping from the sewers, how are you going to go about it? So you can follow back the way you came by, following sort of the yellow brick road, the breadcrumbs that you followed on your way in. But you have some choices. Are you going to use light as you're running through the tunnels? What's your general approach to getting away going to be?
I can go ahead and cast light on the shield, but I would suggest we start looking up for manhole covers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to try and find sort of the closest manhole cover while kind of generally following the route that you took in.
Right.
And I'm gonna take lead on the group since I don't need light for that.
Okay.
Just
All right. Okay. And Doc's going to use light. And I guess, the good thing is having it on your shield is going to make the light not really a globe. It's kind of going to shine out semi-directionally at least.
Mm-hmm.
So that will help. Okay.
I'll
Yep,
keep
sorry.
a watch behind us as we're going as much as I can.
Okay, perfect. So Dahlia, are you kind of more looking for the markers or for the manhole?
If both. So I'm
Okay.
looking for manhole covers that we could access to.
Okay, excellent. All right. And is anyone else doing anything particular to try and cover or aid in your escape?
Is Thaddeus moving okay on his own?
Thaddeus is moving okay on his own. Yep.
And I've got Flume on my shoulder, so
Okay. So that's definitely
Alright.
speeding you guys up.
I might move up front towards Dahlia, so if she sees a manhole cover, I can try and get up and move it.
Good call.
Okay. Excellent. So Dahlia, why don't you go ahead and roll a perception check?
God, I've been rolling so bad this session. I'm so nervous now. Oh no, again. That is a 10.
A 10. Okay. And I will also get you to roll a survival check,
Oh no.
but with disadvantage. So this is for like following the breadcrumbs back.
Oh jeez Louise. Oh damn. Wow. Okay.
Okay, so if I'm up front with her, can I kind of look for little cracks of light coming through manhole covers too?
I don't need the help for this one because with disadvantage I rolled a 20 and an 18.
Excellent.
wow.
Nice.
So that's a 20 with my survival bonus.
Okay.
Wow.
Excellent. And yes, Emmeline, you can also roll a perception check for the manhole covers. Trying to look for light, but it will be with disadvantage because it's hard.
I don't know if I need to now.
Also, to clarify, Doc's going to be in the rear.
Yeah.
Yeah, stubby legs.
Yeah.
That's easy.
What? And how much was that, Emily?
It was a 5 plus whatever, 7.
Okay. All right. And Thaddeus, as you're keeping watch on the back, I'll get you also to make a perception check.
Perception, that's 12.
12? Okay. And Sticks, for carrying Floon, I will get you to make an athletics check.
22.
22. All right. So, you start running through the tunnels of the sewer. You can hear your pursuers. There are times when they appear to be getting quite close on you. But Thaddeus, you sort of, see the little bits of flickering light as they get close and are able to signal to your allies to help try and push them on. Dahlia, you have no trouble finding the Xanathar symbols. That's easy. They seem to be leaping out at you left and right. But you're not finding a manhole cover earlier than the one that you encountered. Sticks, effortless. You're just fireman carrying, just head down, just running. So twisting and turning. And you finally come to the manhole cover that you entered the sewers through. So you didn't find one earlier. You managed to lever it open. It's not that difficult, and climb out. But your pursuers, you didn't manage to shake them. They still seem to be on your trail. And, you have, at best a couple of minutes before they would kind of turn and come down this tunnel as well. So as you're scrambling out of the manhole covers, what are you guys going to do?
Let's spike this thing closed.
Getting ready to play whack-a-mole while we're trying to get the Warhammer's ready. Just anything that pops up that's not us.
I'm going to set Flume down and then try to find something to wedge down in it to keep it from being opened.
Okay.
I'm gonna help Stick with that.
Okay. So, sorry.
Shoot an arrow down some other corridor against the wall to make a noise.
Okay, good idea. So Thaddeus, why don't you go ahead and roll me a dexterity deception check?
Okay.
Come on.
Let's see. 17.
All right.
Woo!
So, you line up a great shot, sending an arrow ricocheting down a tunnel, perfectly aimed. It's got good echo effect to try and send noise down that direction. Sticks, with Dahlia's help, why don't you give me an investigation check as you look for something, anything to help wedge the manhole closed.
All right, so with advantage?
With advantage, with Dahlia's help, yep.
All right, investigation. 15.
15. All right, so you're looking around through the rubbish in the alleyway, trying to find anything that you can. You've levered the manhole cover back closed. It hits with a clang, and in the rubbish. No, that's not a word. In the refuse. I think somehow it was like rummage, and anyway. You do manage to find it's like a broken wardrobe that someone sort of like threw out of a building, sort of down into the alley. And it's kind of heavy. It's like half broken. It's not in good shape, but it is something that you could tip over the manhole cover, which would at least give some weight and slow down significantly anyone trying to follow you.
Can we light it on fire?
You can if you want, absolutely.
Okay.
No.
Let's
There's logic there. She wants to alert the guards, but by the time we're gone, it'd be nice like trash fire.
Yeah, just that would be good.
Screaming
Yeah,
rubbish.
sure.
All right. So you tip the wardrobe over, and if you choose to light it on fire, you can spend a little bit of time and light it on fire. There's lots of flammable material.
I look at Emmeline and Doc and Styx with a very serious expression. Do you want this on fire?
Yes, this is so much fun.
Which direction are we taking off? After we light
Far
this on fire? No, point. Give me a direction.
I don't know my way around this part of town. Where are we?
We're heading back to the pumpkin spice and
Okay.
point that direction.
All right. Back away. And once everyone's cleared away, you watch as I step right against the wardrobe, and I just disappear. And from where I was standing, this explosion of fire comes out.
Yes!
And I pop 30 feet. Back into existence 30 feet.
As this happens,
Direction
my eyes
headed.
just got really big like this.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. So and that just ignites. As you're like running down the alley, you can see a little like red tiefling urchin kind of just staring with big wide eyes and just says, "Wow, that's some hot garbage." And then like runs and bolts in like the other direction. All right. So you guys eventually manage to find your way back, along with Renear and Floon, to the pumpkin spice. Pumpkin's spice. Sorry.
Pumpkin spice.
Yeah, possessive.
Yes.
The pumpkin's spice.
Some spicy
All right. And so he helps you back, and starts like ministering to Floon. He has like some of the wait staff start bringing around restorative liqueurs and things like that. And some food. Renear expresses like his deepest gratitude, as does Floon. Floon's just like, I don't know how to thank you. You're just, wow, this has been, Renear, quite the experience. And then he kind of like goes around and like hugs you. Unless you prevent him, he basically starts like getting very huggy with everybody. He's crying a little bit.
I don't hug him back, but I let him hug me.
You just stand there kind of all stiff-armed.
Watch for the brain juice.
Oh, yes, nasty business.
Emmeline kind of turns into her shoulder and like pat.
Excellent. All right, so Renear is in a celebratory mood, starts breaking out celebratory drinks,
All right.
regaling people with tales. What would you guys like to do?
Join in for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna join in for a little
Don't want to
bit.
be rude.
So Emmeline's kind of breathless and she's getting flushed and she just drinks more than she ever has before.
Excellent. So drinking a lot, I like it. Why don't you go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw?
That's gotta
I
be-
just wasted an at 20 on that too. I'm like
And-
waking up the other night.
You are a champ. You're just drinking like a fiend and feeling no pain, but you're handling that liquor like a champ.
Who knew?
I'm doing like shots and listening with. I'm just completely enthralled by Floon's stories, and I'm just like, God.
So the cat is playing Floon, right?
Yeah, the cat is being Floon, and I'm just sitting there like like fingers like intertwined and like head like my chin resting on them. And as the evening progresses and I do more shots, I start calling him Flan.
Yeah, I think Floon wouldn't mind, and Renear would just laugh every time. Partway through your evening, a purple-dressed gnome pushes his way through the crowd with his big hat, twirling his mustaches. It is Volo as he comes through. Ah, my friends! I see you rescued him! Fabulous! Drinks all around!
Now, little one,
I'll have a big one.
I believe there was some terms of payment here.
Yes, there was, and sad to say, I've had some cash flow issues.
I'm not looking for him.
I don't have the gold, but never let it be said that Volo is not a man of his word. I have something even better for you. Yes? And he like rummages around and pulls out a scroll tube. She undoes, and he pulls out and unfurls a piece of parchment and says, This is the deed to Troll Skull Manor, a property I recently acquired, and I am more than happy to turn it over to you in payment.
Would I know about
What the hell?
Why don't you go ahead and roll me like an intelligence check with advantage, just a knowledge check,
That one.
but with advantage.
Oh, okay.
No.
That's better. Intelligence? That's a
Yes.
18.
Okay. So you know that there is, you know of Troll Skull Manor. You've heard of it. It's a historic property in the North Ward of Waterdeep, located in a place called Troll Skull Alley. So it's like a middle class sort of place. It's had various owners over the years. The most recent owners ran a bit of a tavern there until it passed away, and it's been empty ever since. And in fact, rumor is that the place is haunted.
Even freaking better.
Ghost for his book. Got it. All right.
The old tavern, huh? May I see that, little gnome?
Absolutely. He hands it over.
And I'll just take a look at it, not that I know what I'm looking for. But
You've probably seen property deeds of Waterdeep. It looks legit. It's got all the right seals on it, as best as you can tell. And Volo says that he would happily, assuming you guys inspect the place, it's up to snuff, he could meet you tomorrow at a magistrate's office and sign the deed over.
I'll raise an eyebrow to Sticks and say, have you ever thought of running your own tavern?
No, not at all.
Well, I'll
It
tell
sounds
you
like
what. If you guys end up opening your own tavern, then I can definitely be the entertainment.
I'm not sure we can afford to have my sister there.
Why?
Well, this is most intriguing, little one.
Yeah, it is a little intriguing here.
I'm gonna lean forward into like Volo's space,
Mm-hmm.
and head in hand. If you like taverns so much, you should come visit me sometime at the summer's night. I do a really good song and dance.
Oh, well, I would love to take you up on your offer.
Okay.
It ain't gold, but how's it look, Thaddeus? Worthwhile?
Well, I'm not exactly an expert at these things, but Looks good to me. It's an interesting building.
You know,
Might be
it's pretty spacious.
Yeah.
You've probably passed it once or twice, walking somewhere. It's by far the grandest building in Troll Skull Alley of all the buildings. It's run down. It's been abandoned for a little while, but it's like 4 stories. It's got a turret. It's like full of character. Good bones. Lots of character. Lots of character details, whatever they call it on those house shows.
All right.
There's nothing to lose, guys. Let's do it.
More
Alright.
property.
What the heck?
Yeah, I can't help to have another safe place to rest your head, right, Sticks?
That's true.
All right. Well, another round.
And with that, as Doc says, another round, that is where we are going to end for the night, and we'll save your viewing of Troll Skull Alley for next week. So thanks everyone for tuning in and watching, and you guys all level up to level 2.
Awesome!
More spell slots. More
Yay!
spell slots.
Yes, through the slog of level 1 to level 2, you've graduated from killing rats. Although,
And running from stuff.
well, yeah, because in level 1 you somehow encountered a mind flayer and lived.
Yeah. I was pretty amazed by that. So
And you killed a troll. So you guys have done a lot for level 1. So yes, thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. We will be back next week, same time, same channel. But in the meantime, we have plenty more Dragon Heist to watch 4 nights a week, Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So tune in at the same time tomorrow night to watch the Summer Crew get up to their usual shenanigans, which have been quite entertaining as of last week. And then Saturday, DM Corey will be leading the Spring Group, again, through their wild shenanigans. And that is at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Saturday morning. So you can fill up your afternoon with some great D&D. So we'll go around and following Eugenio Vargas's thing, I'm going to go around. You can remind everyone your name, where they can find you. But instead, we will also get everyone's favorite moment from the session. So let's start with Nox.
Hi, I'm Nox. You can find me on the internets at Nox Noctua, on the Twitters. What was my favorite moment of the game? Shit.
You started off strong.
I think being able to use face step to catch the thing on fire, that was fun.
yeah, that was good.
That
keeping
was
open the door, of course, that was good too.
Yeah, I have to say, tied for me would be both the face step, the kicking in the door, because it was sort of unexpected from Dahlia's normal spring personality.
Yes.
But also meeting Dahlia's summer personality was really great. I enjoyed that.
I was pretty excited to be able to do that. And also exercise a lot of restraint because I'm just trying to not take her too far over the edge where it's just annoying.
Yeah.
Like in my head, I was like, don't physically intimidate or threaten the goblin. Because that's where my mind was going with that.
Yeah.
But I was excited to be able to bring her in. But you can find me elsewhere on the internets. Obviously, I'm here every Thursday, every Tuesday over on Anaris's channel at, it's not my calendar anymore. Oh, there it is. At 6 p.m. Mountain Time, I'm in an Adventurers League game. We're going through Tomb of Annihilation. We are in Omu.
Nice.
And this Sunday on Other Docs channel, 1:30 Mountain Time, I'll be playing a one-shot called Don't Rest Your Head, which is published by Evil Hat, who also publish the Fate system and Dresden Files. So look forward to that.
Perfect. Excellent. All right. Matt, what about you?
I'm Matt, and you guys can find me at Learning Kim on Twitter. My favorite one was probably Emmeline's tumbling run into the and literally Mortal Kombat, kick somebody's ass and tear them apart kind of deal.
Excellent. Yeah, I love that too. That was it was a nice touch. Nox, I'm just groaning at your beautiful, beautiful pun in chat.
Yes,
Fall in love with the Autumn Crew, absolutely. Ryan, what about you?
Well, I'm Ryan, and you can find me at R. Rudebach. Not really keeping quiet on who I actually am on Twitter. And also, you can find me at Red Hand Roleplay. We put the podcast on iTunes and Podbean weekly. Just add that to your podcast list. We're doing West Marches style, and it's really getting pretty intense. Setting up the I guess the third or final act of this season. So, but yeah, the favorite time, man. Yeah, we already kind of went through all the highlight reel of exploring this. I was really happy that no one actually died, and I actually landed some hits with the Warhammer. I was like, toggling between Toll the Dead, which is potentially a good hit, or risking it, smashing Thaddeus with a Warhammer. But yeah, no, Emmeline's just like single-handedly taking down the half-orc was pretty badass. Like, it was amazing. She still had a tax level like what I do now. And then I think also coming out of the sewer clean as a whistle, thanks to the physician's clothes.
Yes,
never seemed
yes.
to get dirty.
Yeah.
And but other than that, it was wow.
Yeah.
It was a good
Everyone
session.
else is covered in sewage and gore, and Doc just comes out all clean.
There you go.
All right, and Jeff.
I'm Jeff. I'm Atomic Straw on Twitter and on variant roles things from time to time, other than Dragon Heist, if there are any. My favorite thing from tonight that we haven't talked about yet was the golf swing of
No, that's mine.
Yeah, I just like the idea of this brain is like on you like a dog growling, and then just like the Warhammer comes in and like poof.
Teed up on Thaddeus's chest, and then the thing like splats against the wall. Yeah, I concur.
That could have gone so bad.
Oh right. Like, fuck.
Just don't roll a 1. Excellent. All right, and Cindy.
Hi, I'm Cindy. I don't matter online, and Jeff stole my favorite thing.
Don't forget when you killed the dude with your
Yes.
Your thighs.
Yeah.
Thighs of steel.
I'm having fun now, She's like deciding this is a lot more interesting than her former life. So she's trying to light things on fire and squeeze things to death with her thighs and drink a lot.
Oh dear. Yeah, the killing with the thighs, I could only think of the Thigh Master commercials. Was it Suzanne Summers or back in the day? Yeah, that's all I can think about. Yeah, for me, those were all great moments. I also enjoyed, from things that I contributed. I really had fun with Matt's natural 1 on the crossbow shot.
Yeah.
And throwing in a sort of cipher style intrusion by having it like ricochet into a goblin guard, and then having the goblin guard just be totally willing to be bought out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really care. That's fine.
Yeah, I am also a fan of doing the paradoxical, like the goblins sound really like illiterate and dumb speaking common, but when they speak in goblin, they're quite, erudite and well spoken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was pretty
I
funny.
tried to change my speaking pattern with Goblin too.
Yeah, so that you're not talking down to it, basically. Yeah, no, I always have a lot of fun with that.
I enjoy this all like standing around clueless while Thaddeus is like.
Oh yeah, and like goblin sounds horrible. It's like, drowning. I don't even know what it sounds like, but it does not sound good.
I chose Goblin as my favorite enemy language.
There you go.
There you go.
Because the Wall of Heroes in the City of the Dead shows humans fighting goblins, and I
True.
studied that.
True. Makes sense. All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in and watching and sticking around as we end. And thanks again to all my wonderful players for everything that you guys did tonight. That was great work. So everyone tune in tomorrow, Saturday, and check back in with us next week as we move on to session 4.
It is session.
Session 4 of our adventure, and continuing this adventure and seeing what you guys do with Manor House.
Yeah, that would
All right.
be fun.
Oh,
All
man.
right.
Everybody.
Good night, everybody. Check you next
Bye.
week.